This is a young man who during 2020 was part of growing his baseball journey during a pandemic. He did well enough that in 2021, the Arizona Diamondbacks made him their first round pick. But 2 games in, oh, that adversity again. Jordan Lawler blew up his shoulder. Well, adversity be darned because he pushed it aside. And this year, Lawler is explosive, impacting the Diamondbacks organization. He's the number 3 player overall in the rankings in the organization, and we get a chance to catch up with him. Jordan, thanks for spending time with us now. You've overcome a lot, but out there in the Cal League, you're doing amazing things.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
The summer of 2020, you were a perfect game All American. You also wore the USA uniform and did so very, very well, even years before that with the USA uniform. What was that All American Classic like? What was the national showcase in Alabama like, and then the All American Classic in Oklahoma? Your perfect game journey. What do you recall?
It's special, the whole thing, playing the top competition, and then especially that PG National Showcase. I believe that was probably one of the first big times I got back out there after COVID and faced some of the top competition. So it was great for the summer that led up to the PG All American game. I think it makes you more comfortable with just having eyes on you, especially once you get towards the end of your high school season. The scouts are going to be out there watching you at all times. So getting used to that, getting under the pressure, and then just learning how to perform under that. I think Perfect Game did a great job in preparing me for those kinds of things.
Describe 2021. What a joy to find
Mhm.
yourself drafted so high by the Diamondbacks, sixth overall, out of Jesuit College Prep, and describe, just 2 games, but describe kind of what did pro baseball look like off the field outside of those 2 games in 2021.
Hey, I learned a ton. Just learned how to live by myself, learn how to play every day, learn the schedules of how to work, get your early work in, what your routines are. I think the routine is probably the biggest thing that I learned during that short time I was available to play. And I think that's paid dividends for even my short season right now.
All right, so let's talk about this year because it's been an amazing start for you. What are you learning? You're out there in California. It's a forgiving league for hitters, certainly, but that doesn't matter. You have to put the bat on the baseball. I'm looking, just simply put, as we have this interview, you've had 97 plate appearances against pitchers that are older. You're playing up in pro ball,
Yeah.
essentially. Kind of talk to me about why the success has found you early on in this season in California.
It's just staying confident to my approach, getting in early, getting my routines in, and then just staying confident every game, no matter really what happens. And then just knowing I got to bring it to the field every single day. Say that's the biggest thing with pro ball. You don't have an off day, and you got to lock it in every day. Make sure you're getting enough sleep at night, because that body is going to wear down after your long 5 month season, especially even in college. Like you got to take care of that. We take 2 lifts a week. I think that will keep your strength up, maintain your body. Especially with my shoulder, I have a little program that I do for some arm care, just to make sure it stays tight, stays ready to go, and can withstand the stresses of the day to day.
How do you train the mind as a pro? And is it some of the things you did as an amateur? How about the mind?
Yeah, we have meetings with the team going through different maybe stat sheets, or we have an app called True Media. We can break down some different advanced stats that are actually pretty useful with defensive positioning, pitch sequences, stuff like that. So getting in there, kind of doing that side of the early work, maybe even the clubhouse before you even get back on the field. I think that's what can separate you down the road.
Tell me a little bit about where you've evolved, from the time you arrived at spring training to now, and maybe it was in the wintertime. As it pertains to your approach, as it pertains to your swing, maybe 1 or 2 things where you say, hey, Sut, I've really evolved in that area.
Yeah, I'd say hitting a good sinker is always a big thing. So like now we see real like pitches that are going to be moving. High school, there's a changeup, there's just slower pitch, but now you get an actual pitch that's going to dive on you, sink. So I say hitting a pitch that's going to move. I think that's been a big development.
So how? I'm curious how you've done that. What are
Yeah,
some of the tricks of the trade?
just learning the different sites. So like a sinker, you're going to hit the lower inside part of the ball. Maybe fastball, curveball, you're going to try to get a little further out in front. Slider, you have to back it up a little bit more and see it up. So you just got to get used to the depth and how much they move now. That the professional arms. So say just learning how to do that, how to adapt the approach game to game, and I think that's the biggest thing with pro ball hitting.
Jordan, I want to wrap with academics because you were almost 100% student all through high school, right? I mean, I know that it really mattered, and you changed schools too, which was a challenge for you certainly to go to a prep school, but you really kept it at a high level. This is really for all our younger guys out there. So here goes. Have you seen the benefits as someone who focused in the classroom? Now that you don't have to, but have you seen it translate into your job as a professional baseball player?
I have, yeah, for sure. And I think the work ethic I developed in the classroom, just attention to detail, and then I'm just always being open to learn. I think that directly translates. And actually, I'm taking classes at ASU right now too, so I'm just continuing the the education. Yeah, I couldn't get enough of
Wow,
it.
wow, chasing your degree, huh?
Yeah, I've always wanted to, so I have enough time to do it, so I want to do it.
Yeah, there's that kid Tamar that just committed to ASU. You ever heard of
Yes,
him?
you did. It's pretty good, huh? Yeah.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Hey, best of luck with the Diamondbacks. We're watching you oh so closely as we saw you as an amateur. Thanks for coming on our unique show, and really go get him the rest of the season.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.